Now to a special report from the 8 News Now I-Team. A husband enters a local hospital for a medical procedure. So why did his wife die just outside? Vanessa Murphy has been looking into this tragic death and how changes have been made so this never happens again.
Gee Whiz was the song that she sang, and that was also one of the things that attracted me to her voice.
David Litt recalls a classmate named Lear singing at a talent show back in the early 60s.
So I called her, and we started dating from then.
They became high school sweethearts.
Once you meet her, you wouldn't forget her.
Marriage and his enlistment in the military followed.
Been a tour in Vietnam.
And today, as a veteran, David receives medical care at the VA. In August of 2020, he went in for a transfusion. He says Lear didn't drive much due to health issues, but she wanted to go with her husband. So she dropped him off, parked the car, and tried to head inside, but she was turned away.
They allowed her to come in to tell me that she couldn't come in. And that's when I gave her my phone. Said, okay, I'll call you, find out how you're doing.
There was a no visitor policy at the emergency department at the time due to the pandemic.
I think that could have been handled a lot differently.
Lear was 75 years old. The temperature on record for that day as high as 110. Still, Lear went to wait in the car in the parking lot. That was around 9:30. Around noon, a doctor on their way in saw her in the car, which wasn't running, with the windows rolled down. She said she didn't have much gas, so she couldn't let the car run. But to David, that doesn't sound quite right.
One thing I made a habit of never getting below half a tank of gas.
Then around 2:30, after David tried calling Lear and there was no answer, he asked hospital staff to check on her. Shortly after, he heard an announcement.
Rapid response in the parking lot.
Lear was found unresponsive in the car. Her body temperature, 109.
Doing compressions. And I'm across the hall from where this is taking place, but I knew it was her. Without even seeing, I knew it was her.
Lear was pronounced dead inside the hospital. Her cause of death, hyperthermia.
The unfortunate reality was we had spent so much time on risk assessing, protect veterans, protect staff, and after that incident occurred, we had to take a step back and say, well, there's a secondary risk too because of the weather out here.
William Karen is the head of VA Southern Nevada Healthcare System.
A policy is a policy, but with the heat, and this was an elderly woman with a limp, with her own health issues. She wasn't a veteran. But do you think a mistake was made at the people who interacted with her at the door?
Yeah, I think we could go back in time, hindsight, and review every single detail. But to say that someone was malicious or reckless, I wouldn't say that in the least. The goal was the greater good of protecting all veterans.
Multiple departments at the VA investigated the incident. The I-Team's request for the results of the investigations were denied. While we've appealed, we also asked Karen about this.
But any of those results of the investigation, typically that's not something that we would share outright.
Were you aware that there was further investigation?
No. This is the first time that I'm hearing this.
Karen says policy was changed the day Lear died to allow one visitor to accompany a patient and to increase patrols in the parking lot.
Were you aware that they changed policy after that?
No. It'll help someone else if the same situation arises, but it's not helping me at all.
David says for now, he's trying to get used to life without his wife of 57 years by his side.
I know it's going to take time.
Vanessa Murphy, Live, Local, Now.